All right, little update on the Coleman minibike, aka my Harley here. I've had it a little over a week. I've got about 5 hours of riding time on it, and I can tell you that it's awesome, especially for the low price of $5.99 that I got it for. I've had a couple of issues with it. Neither one of them are huge. Start with the I guess the most important one first. And if you watched my first video on this when I was assembling it and got it first started, I know some of you probably noticed when I had it running, I had to leave the choke on, or at least partially on, when it was running to keep it running. Long story short, after I rode it about an hour or so, I was noticing a strong gas odor here in the garage, tracked it down to this thing, and the bottom of the carburetor bowl here was wet, and this thing here, which I think is pretty sure that's the fuel shutoff. Yep. This was wet. Everything down here was wet. I couldn't really figure out what it was. I tightened this down. I took all of the air cleaner assembly stuff off. This wasn't it. I tightened the bowl down, and it was pretty tight. That didn't do it. Ended up just taking the bowl off. And you know, anybody that's watching this is probably familiar with how these work, but there's a rubber gasket that goes on top of the bowl there. All I did was just take it off, reseat it, and then put the bowl back on there, and then tighten this down real good. I haven't had any more trouble with it. When I did that, it stopped leaking, and it also meant that I didn't have to have the choke on at all anymore once it got started. And it starts way easier now. So I don't know if I had a vacuum leak going on as well, because I tightened everything down around here. But now it starts basically one pull, and we're up and running. The only other issue I've had with it is that somewhere around the hour and a half, maybe 2 hour mark of riding, my headlight here, the bracket just, there was little chintzy spot welds here that hold this part of the bracket to this. And the spot welds just broke. And so you see what I did to fix it. I was going to weld it back, but I just drilled the 2 spot welds out and then put 2 bolts in it, slapped her back together, and that was that. But I was just riding along, and all of a sudden this thing went punk, and it was just hanging by the wiring off the side of the shock there. So, you know, Chinesium stuff. What do you expect? But then there's another shot of you know, I just got all kinds of hardware laying around like most people do. So I just drilled it out, and yes, I painted it there with some blue paint, but whatever. And that's it. Everything else has just been ride it and enjoy life. My daughter slapped a sticker on there on the old gas tank. I went ahead from Go Power Sports. I've ordered a little exhaust here that's going to come out here with a muffler and hang back this way. But yeah, if you're still on the fence about it, don't be on the fence about it. Just go buy one. Let's put my money where my mouth is. Let's see if I can get it started on the first pull here. There we go. And that's how it's been ever since I got that leak fixed.